My name is Joy Pullmann, and I'm a mother with 6 kids, and I'm the executive editor at the Federalist. I get up at 5:30. I may have 6,000 words to edit between 6 and 8 a.m. May have 50 emails to answer as well. Then I head to the kitchen to see what state it's in with all of my children hanging from the chandeliers. We don't have chandeliers. 1:30, 2 o'clock is nap time, and then I'm working. I get a lot from young women, how do you do it? I say, try not to if you can help it. Looking at all the college options that I had, why was I going to college in the first place? I was going to college to be educated, to take the talents that I had and make the most of them. I had a gut feeling that at Hillsdale is where I would get the best education. The only thing I wish that would have been better about my Hillsdale experience was me. Well, you're 18 years old and stupid. I was an English major and I knew that from the beginning. I loved to write. What I loved really about reporting in college was being a conduit for other people's stories. How do you get people interested? How do you make sure it's organized clearly? All of those kind of bits about the craft. After Hillsdale, I did huge amounts of on-the-ground reporting. I was one of the earliest people to even pay any attention to this thing called Common Core. It came to me from the grassroots from a mom. She called me one day and said, why aren't there any reporters covering this thing called Common Core? I think this was 2012 or 2013. It was before this became a huge grassroots issue. She was saying, my local school district is talking about it, and I tried to go to a public meeting about it and they wouldn't let me in. I was instantly on her behalf wondering, okay, this is weird, this shouldn't happen. Government 101, the people are allowed to go to public meetings. I also tried to get into that meeting. They wouldn't talk to me about it or let me know anything about it. I just published a story about the fact that they weren't letting anyone do that information. And I got deluged with emails from people saying, we heard about this too, what is this thing? And I happened to be someone just doing basic journalism when no other outlets were doing basic journalism on this thing that really aimed to completely overhaul and nationalize American education. Because of that, I became, I got a huge following, huge amount of readership, and that turned into a book. Then it started getting huge media attention and became a thing that even eventually Donald Trump started talking about. Reporting on Common Core played into our decision to start a school. People need to be more and better educated. The education is the formation of a human soul. And the kind of souls that you have in your country determine whether it can be self-governing. And I want my children to be self-governing, and I want their neighbors to be self-governing. So we started Redeemer Classical School in 2016. And it was one-room schoolhouse, then. Now we're a 4-room schoolhouse. My husband is the headmaster of the school, and I'm the executive editor at the Federalist. When you have a heart commitment to the things that are good, for me, it's really gotten me through a lot. Doing all the things that I do has been basically a battle the whole time. So you don't have the heart to fight, without someone having shown you what's worth fighting for. And so that's what I really got from the classes at Hillsdale. Taught me what to love, right? Rather than fighting in bitterness. Dr. Sundell was one of my freshman English professors, and then I took him, of course, a bunch of other times. The things that he would talk about in class were just so touching that I would sit in the back of his class and cry, as quietly as I could. I think of Hillsdale as kind of like the shining city on a hill. It's this beautiful place that is so unlike almost everywhere else that we have in the world. Of course, it's not a perfect place, but it has so many excellencies all together in one place, and people have worked over centuries and they sacrificed to make that possible. So you can go there and get refreshed. You can go there and have hope. Our country is in really dangerous times. Through my work, you see some of that grave danger in Hillsdale is, for me, what gives me so often the courage to get out there and keep taking swings. Right when I graduated, I really wished I could go back and do it all over again.